Hi everybody, I'm Amor Maximo, and I'm just a random person trying to share how beautiful life is. Today is day 1, day 2, day 3, fourth day of Galley Talks, the first virtual flight attendant conference. So if you're up for it, let's go. To most people, the galley is known as the kitchen in a ship or aircraft. But as for me, I'd like to believe that it's a memorable place for the crew. It is where we set up and prepare for service. It is a haven for personal time, and even a venue to solve emergencies. And if these galleys have ears, they have heard a lot of stories. Numerous cabin crew have shared personal and professional tales, records of happiness and sadness. They have given information and have expressed ideas and feelings, among many, many others. In relation to that, I decided to create an avenue for anyone to talk, for I believe that everyone has something to say, and all that we need is a venue wherein one can speak with people who are willing to listen. And we have that right here. With that being said, may I present Galley Talks, the first virtual flight attendant conference. It is where we have gathered 20 of your favorite flight attendant YouTube vloggers, wherein they will talk about different sides of being a flight attendant and various angles that can be seen in the airline industry. This event is brought to you by Amor Speaks, in association with our social media partner, Fly High Manila. Our first speaker will talk about 4 airlines, 1 story. Her YouTube handle is Clang and Thea. So, one half of it. May I present Miss Althea Legaspi.
Hi guys, good afternoon. Can you hear me na? Naririnig niyo ba ako?
Yes po.
Yes.
Yes po.
Okay, so I'm Althea. You can call me Thea or Althea or whatever you want. Pero wag lang siguro tita or ate, ganyan. Anyways, unang sa lahat, thank you so much, Sir Amor, for this opportunity. So ito kasi yung first time ko na magto-talk. Actually, kinakabahan nga ako kasi hindi ko alam kung gaano kayo kadami or hindi ko alam kung ano sasabihin ko. Pero syempre sa tulong ni Sir Amor, thank you so much. Thank you very much. And then thank you sa inyong lahat sa pag-attend today and thank you sa effort nyo and sa time nyo. So, ayan, let me start na, no? For Airline 1 story. Eto, bago muna ako mag-start, I have a question for you guys. Sino kaya makakahula ng aking first airline? Anyone? Sino may alam ng first airline? You can type or you can unmute your mic. Or you can chat na lang kung sino pinakauna. I have something for you. So, paano ba makikita yung chat, sir? Sorry, hindi ko
Okay,
alam.
so ang gawin natin yung pinakauna sa akin. On mine na lang.
Okay.
Alright, so first answer came from Michi, Cebu Pacific. Is it right or wrong?
Yes, Cebu Pacific.
Ayun.
So,
So, si
Michi, I have
Michi.
something for you. This is an earring. So, tama-tama, no? Girl yung nakahula. Ayan.
Ayan. Send
Ano
me
siya?
and Thea a message after.
Yeah. Okay, tama kayo. Cebu Pacific. So, 10 years ago, I was a fresh grad. So, medyo matagal na, no? Baka mahulaan nyo kung ano yung age ko ngayon. So, fresh grad ako noon. I tried my luck in Cebu Pacific. So, tinry ko lang mag-apply. So, during that time kasi, wala pa yung, katulad nito wala pa yung mga group sa Facebook, wala pa yung mga group for aspirants, ganyan. Hindi ako makasearch nun kung paano ba ako mag-a-apply, kung ano yung mga tips and yung mga do's and don'ts na gagawin ko during application. So, ang ginawa ko lang nun is I try to research about the airline, kung saan ba may hiring, ganyan. So, luckily, I found out that Cebu Pacific was hiring during that time. Pero, dahil nga fresh grad ako, and I was only like 19 years old or turning 20 years old ako noon. Siyempre, kinakabahan ako. Lahat tayo dumaan sa ganyan or dadaan sa ganyan, di ba? Katulad nyo, kung sinong may mga dito, nag-aaral pa lang or like 20 years old pa lang, dadaan tayo sa ganyan eh. Dadaan tayo lahat sa pagiging first time. Like, first time nyo mag-a-apply, first time nyo pupunta sa isang airline company. So, ayan, tinanong ko yung sarili ko kung kaya ko bang mag-apply, kaya ko bang humarap, like, sumabay sa kanila, sa mga tao. Kasi for sure, may makakasabay ako na may experience na or hindi fresh grad or mas like 22 years old. Alam mo yun, mas matanda sa'yo na mas may alam. Ganon, di ba? Well, anyway, to make the story short, sabi ko sa sarili ko, kaya ko mag-apply. Kaya kong daanan tong stage na to. Kasi lahat tayo dumadaan sa pagiging first time. Okay? Lahat tayo dadaan dyan. So, ayan, to make the story short, I was accepted in Cebu Pacific. I was hired in Cebu Pacific and that is my first job. So, nagstay ako doon for 3 years. However, during that time kasi, sa Cebu Pacific, wala pa sila nung like long-haul flight or layover flight. Kasi medyo matagal na yun eh. Parang 10 years ago, di ba? Parang recent lang sila nagkaroon ng long-haul flight, the layover sa Dubai, sa Sydney. Hindi ko siya naabutan. Parang yung time ko, pupunta kami sa isang place, like domestic, for example, sa Cebu or sa Palawan, ganyan. Pero sa airport lang kami, balikan. Kumbaga round trip lang. So, ihatid na namin mga passengers and then hindi kami bumababa ng airport. Walang layover. So, syempre, as parang sa pagiging flight attendant, diba, iniisip natin na or nakikita natin, yung dream natin is mapuntahan yung different places. Like, you have layover, you can stay in different country or different what you call this season, you can para ma-experience mo yung may summer, winter, ganyan, yung mga dream talaga ng isang flight attendant. So para naisip ko, siguro kailangan bigyan ako ni Lord ng sign kung ano bang dapat kong gawin or kung hello? Sorry. Hi? Nawala, sorry. Anyways, ayun na nga, no? Parang naisip ko na gusto ko rin ma-experience yung gano'n na makatry mag-layover, ganyan. And then luckily, alam nyo, nagkaroon ng hiring in Qatar Airways. So, I tried to apply in Qatar Airways. So, ano yun sa Cebu pa nun, ang application. Yeah, so I went to Cebu to apply. However, hindi ako natanggap sa una kong try. So, I wasn't accepted. And then, actually, sa hanggang first stage lang ako. Naalis na ako. Hindi ako natanggap. So, sabi ko, bakit kaya ganun? Parang, I have this experience naman. I am an ex-cabin crew. Pero hindi pa rin ako nakuha. Ganun. So, tinanong ko yung sarili ko, ano bang kailangan kong gawin? Anong mali ko sa interview or sa process? Ano yung hindi ko nagawa? So, syempre, because of that experience, pinag-aralan ko or sabi ko, sa next hiring, mag-a-apply ulit ako. Hindi ako susuko. Parang talagang gagawin ko yung best ko para matanggap ako sa Qatar Airways. Kasi parang, siguro ako, dream airline ko yun eh. During that time, kasi medyo, parang naging nag-boom talaga yung Qatar Airways na parang every month nag-hiring sila ng Filipina cabin crew. So, as an experienced cabin crew or low-cost cabin crew, parang ikaw gusto mo matry na maging isang international flight attendant, di ba? So anyways, eto na nga, nag-hiring na naman sila. Sabi ko, hindi ako susuko, itatry ko pa din talaga. Kahit hindi ako natanggap sa una kong apply, itatry ko pa din. Na malay mo this time, di ba, matanggap ako. Pero kung hindi, okay lang. At least, tinry ko. So ayan, nagpunta ako sa Manila Hotel. Alam nyo, ano ako doon? I think, pang 500 ako sa line. Sobrang daming tao talaga. Sobrang dami. Lahat, kasabay ko lahat. Feeling ko naman, yung mga iba doon may experience din. Kasi may mga familiar faces na from Cebu Pacific din. Tapos yung mga friends ko from different airlines. So, nandun sila. Kaya, hindi mo talaga alam kung ano ang basis nila Paano sila pipili sa inyong lahat. So, sobrang dami yung nag-a-apply. So, anyways, yun na nga, pagpasok ko sa Manila Hotel, pinasa lang namin yung resume. We just handed the resume doon sa nag-i-interview. And then, sabi nila, te-text na lang daw nila kami if pasado kami sa second day. So, parang nag-isip ako, anong magiging basis nila? Yung resume ba? Or siguro first impression? Syempre, pagdating mo doon, kailangan presentable ka, maayos yung itsura mo, of course, 'di ba? Hindi ka pupunta doon ng wala, gusto mo lang pumunta, hindi ka ready. Yung gano'n. So dapat pag mag-a-apply kayo, most especially mass hiring. Yung mass hiring is yung madami kayong mag-a-apply. Dapat talaga prepared kayo palagi kasi mabilisan siya Hindi siya yung may titignan nila kayo, na i-interviewin agad nila kayo. Parang siguro first impression on how you handle yourself, paano mo dinala yung sarili mo papunta dun sa kanila. Yun lang yung titignan nila. Anyways, ayun, to make this story short, I was accepted. I was hired in Qatar Airways. So, eto na, parang ito na yung dream ko. Isa na akong international flight attendant. So, nakakapunta na ako sa different places. Ayan, nakakaroon na ako ng layover. And then, napupuntahan ko na yung mga hindi mo akalain mapupuntahan mo. Like, nakapunta ka sa Paris, nakapunta ka sa London, sa US. Yan, kung saan talaga. Kung saan yung lipad ng Qatar Airways. So, I stayed there for 2.5 years. Okay, so however, I got pregnant with my first baby. So sabi ko baka para hindi na sa akin yung pagiging flight attendant. Siguro I need to spend time with my family, most especially na may baby na ako. So ayan, umuwi ako ng Philippines, so I resigned and then I gave birth to my first son. Pero syempre dahil ako talagang dream ko ang pagiging flight attendant, parang naisip ko na may chance pa kaya, parang mabibigyan pa kaya ako ng chance na maging flight attendant. So, nagkaroon ng mass hiring ang Philippine Airlines. Doon siya sa PNB, I think. Sa PNB siya. Sobrang daming pila talaga. So, nag-try ako doon, mag-apply, kasi baka naman gusto ni Lord is dito na ako mag-work sa Philippines. Total, may baby na ako, like that, diba? So, tinry ko yung Philippine Airlines. Kasi yun yung dream airline ko dito sa Philippines. Syempre, 'di ba? Flag carrier. Tapos parang super nice ng uniform nila, and then parang pag nasa Philippine Airline ka, parang you feel proud kasi 'di ba, flag carrier ka. But syempre proud pa din naman ako na naging part ako ng Cebu Pacific. So ayan, nag-apply ako sa Philippine Airline. However, nung second step na, sabi nila, they don't accept yung may anak na. Hindi nila ina-accept. During that time, sabi nila. So, parang ako nasaktan ako. Syempre, parang, dahil ba may baby ka na, ganyan, parang, you can't pursue or fulfill your dream. So, syempre di ako pumayag. Kasi talagang, goal digger ako Sabi ko, kailangan parang, gusto ko pa rin ma-achieve yung dream ko kahit na baby na ako or mommy na ako. So, ayan, hiring ang Saudiya. So, sa IPAMS to, for sure naririnig niyo na yon na sa IPAMS yung mga hiring nila. So, nagpunta ako, syempre. Sabi ko parang, siguro, kung matatanggap ako dito, malalayo ako sa baby ko. Kung hindi ako matatanggap dito, baka gusto ni Lord is, dito na lang ako sa Philippines. Pero kung matanggap ako, of course, I know na someday, or maintindihan naman siya ng baby ko. Kasi ginagawa ko naman yun for him, di ba? For his future. So, ayan, nag-apply ako. Pumila na naman ako. Eh, syempre, ako, hindi talaga ako dyan, susuko eh. Pipila talaga ako kahit gaano kahaba yan. Kasi yun yung dream ko eh. Yun yung passion ko, di ba? So, pumila ako sa Saudiya. Sabi ko, ano ba yan? Ito na naman. Pipila na naman ako. Parang, ito, kaya ko ba to? Matatanggap ba ako dito kahit may baby na ako? Sabi ko, syempre, sa sarili ko, mga kasabay ko doon, mga fresh grad. Before, di ba, sabi ko, pag fresh grad, yan, baka hindi ako matanggap. Pero ngayon iniisip ko na baka ang piliin nila is mga fresh grad na mas bata sa akin, yung walang baby. Ganyan. Pero sabi ko, kaya ko to. Parang gagawin ko to for my son. Gagawin ko to for myself. And kung hindi ako matanggap, at least I tried, di ba? So, ayan, pumila ako. So, fortunately, natanggap ako sa Saudiya. And I stayed there for 2.5 years. Ayan. So, ayan, flight attendant na naman ako. Parang, sabi ko, shucks, parang siguro, ito yung gusto ni Lord talaga. Na parang, itong babaeng to, hindi to titigil hanggat hindi niya nakukuha yung gusto niya. Parang gano'n na, huwag kang titigil hanggat hindi mo makukuha yung dream mo talaga. Kahit ano pang doubts mo sa sarili mo, na baka hindi ka matanggap or whatever. At least, diba, tinry mo na mag-apply. So, ayan. But, may blessing na naman na dumating sa akin. And then, I got pregnant again with my second baby. So, sabi ko, baka eto na talaga yung sign na ayaw na ako ni Lord na maging flight attendant. Sabi ko, maybe gusto niya na umuwi ako sa Philippines to stay with my babies na. Kasi dalawa na sila eh, diba? So sabi ko, okay, I will resign. Kasi during that time, sa Saudiya, dapat 5 years kang magstay to have, or to, para payagan ka nila mag-maternity leave. So ako kasi parang 2.5 years pa lang ako noon, and then I got pregnant. So I need to resign talaga. Pero I can rejoin if I want. Pero syempre ulit-ulit sa process nila, ganyan. So we've decided, me and my husband decided na dito na lang ako sa Philippines. So, I should stay here na lang kasi dalawa na yung baby namin. Pero, syempre ako, parang, hindi kasi ako, parang gusto ko pa rin maging flight attendant. Sabi ko, paano ko ba gagawin to na gusto ko maging flight attendant at the same time, mag-spend ako ng time sa family ko. Sa mga babies ko, mahalagaan ko pa rin sila, ganyan. Ayan na nga, dumating ang AirAsia sa life ko. Ayan, yung AirAsia naman is, etong friend ko na to, parang minessage niya ako na may hiring sila for experienced crew. So sabi ko, baka hindi ako matanggap doon kasi dalawa na yung baby ko, and during that time, I was 27 years old. So parang, 'di ba, yung age mo medyo, yung mga kasabay mo kasi syempre mga 22 lang yan, 23, ikaw 27 ka na, 'di ba? And then, tas married ka na, and may baby ka na. So parang iniisip ko, baka hindi ako matanggap dyan. Pero, sige, I will try. Susubukan ko mag-apply. So, nag-apply ako sa AirAsia Philippines, and fortunately, I was hired in AirAsia. So, ayan, sabi ko, baka siguro ito na yung last airline ko siguro. Kasi, nagagawa ko yung gusto ko na binigyan nila ako ng chance na maging flight attendant pa rin, na lumipad pa rin, na magawa ko yung gusto ko, yung passion ko. At the same time, may time ako sa mga babies ko. Kasi AirAsia doesn't have layover eh. Parang, lang siya, Cebu Pacific na before, na balikan lang, after flight mo, uuwi ka na sa mga babies mo, or sa family mo, ganyan. You don't need to base outside the country. Kasi, diba, pag international flight attendant, sa ibang bansa ka naka-base, kung saan yung airline na yon. Like, sa Qatar, sa Doha kami naka-base, sa Saudi, sa Jeddah or Riyadh. So dito sa AirAsia, I was based here in the Philippines. And then, sabi nila sa akin, because may baby na ako, during that time kasi, 1 month old pa lang yung baby ko. So, kakapanganak ko pa lang. Sabi, kaya talaga nagda-doubt ako sa sarili ko, baka hindi ako matanggap dyan kasi kakapanganak ko pa lang 1 month old pa lang yung baby ko. Sabi nila, because 1 month old pa lang yung baby ko, I will be Manila-based. So, super, super happy talaga ako na minigyan nila ako ng chance na ayan, maging flight attendant at the same time nga, maging full-time mom sa mga kids ko. So, ayan, nasa AirAsia ako until now, and siguro magti 3 years na ako sa AirAsia. Ayan. So, kaya, sabi ko nga sa mga nagtatanong sa akin, kahit fresh grad ka pa, or kahit may experience ka, or wala kang experience, kung ano man ang age mo, kung 20 years old ka man or 27 years old ka man, kung may baby ka man or wala, kung married ka man or single ka, try lang kayo ng try mag-apply. Kasi for sure, bibigay din sa inyo yan. Eventually, matutupad nyo din yung dreams nyo na maging flight attendant. So, wag kayong susuko and katulad ko, di ba? Parang kahit anong struggle, kahit anong dumating sa akin na blessing or kahit anong problem, hindi ko talaga sinukuan yung dream ko na magiging flight attendant din ako, or na maggagawa ko pa rin yung gusto ko, yung passion ko. So ayan, sabi ko nga, try and try, 'di ba? Until you fly. Ayan. So sana kahit papaano nagkaroon kayo ng idea or na-inspire ko kayo sa kwento ko on how I was accepted in 4 different airline. Ayan, sana kayo rin maging katulad ko or na huwag kayong sumuko sa dream nyo. And I know in God's perfect time, magkikita-kita rin tayo sa aeroplano.
Our second speaker, he's gonna talk about the priority of flight attendants. His YouTube handle is Gincarlo Rosario. With that being said, may I present our second speaker, Gincarlo Rosario. Let's give him a hand. Yay!
Hey guys, what's up? It's me again, Dong, and welcome back to my channel.
Ayan. Nag-echo. Naririnig na ba ako? Clear? Clear naman? Ayan.
Yes po.
Hi everyone! Kamusta kayong lahat? Actually, medyo kinakabahan ako kasi this is my first time to talk sa, ilan ba kayo? 42. Oo. Actually, hindi naman talaga ako public speaker, pero iniisip ko, I will be sharing my experience. I will be inspiring young minds, especially sa mga inyo na gustong-gusto talaga maging isang cabin crew. Is it possible if I can see your faces? Muna, mag-hi lang ako sa inyo. Ayan, dito kang humarap. Meron kasi akong isang device dito na nasa laptop ko, kaya I wanna see everyone muna sana. Hello! Ayan, I'm gonna say hi to some random people. Hello, Anne Marelia. Hello, Jem. Hello, David. Hello, Jemafel. Hello, Trish. Kamusta kayong lahat? So, ayan. So, first and foremost, I wanna greet you magandang hapon, and I hope that everyone is safe. Hello, Trisha. I hope everyone is safe, kayo at saka ng family nyo. So, in my topic, medyo kinakabahan ako. Pero, pero kaya nga kanina pumasok na ako para medyo, alam mo yun, medyo maging comfortable na ako magsalita sa inyo. But in my topic, I will be discussing or I will be sharing with you the priorities of being a flight attendant. So, eto, as much as possible, I want to be interactive sa inyo. Okay? So, ready na ba kayo makinig? Please type 1. Wow. Please type 1. 1 naman dyan. Ayan. Dami na. Okay. ready na talaga sila. So, wala na talaga akong kawala. Joke. So, ayan. Eto, tanong ko sa inyo guys, kung the first time or pag narinig nyo yung pagiging isang flight attendant, ano yung pinakaunang what goes into your mind? Ano talaga siya? Pagiging isang flight attendant. Kung ano yung work niya, yung pinaka first time nyo siyang narinig. Sige nga. Service. Okay. Enjoy service. Yes. Safety. Ayun. Assist the passengers. Flying. Okay. Security. Ayan. Tama po lahat ng mga sinasabi nyo, pero of course, meron tayong parang makaka-relate yung ibang flight attendants dito, pati kay Sir Amor, na isa sa common misconception ng pagiging isang flight attendant is just all about serving food, water, coffee, tea. Kasi yun naman talaga hindi din namin masisisi yung ibang tao kasi yun naman yung nakikita niya. But today, I'm gonna be explaining or sharing to you na we are more than just servers or nag-assist sa mga pasahero. Vital yung work ng pagiging isang flight attendant. Wait lang, magta-timer ako kasi baka masobra naman yung pagdadaldal ko. Ayan. Vital means it's a matter of life and death. Kasi pag may nangyaring emergency sa eroplano, kami yung sasagip sa inyo. Kami yung sasagip sa mga pasahero. Now, siguro i-share ko sa inyo because I'm not sure if everyone of you knows, pero ang second job ko na itong pagiging isang flight attendant. The first job I had was, I was a seaman. Seafarer po ako. Pero hindi po ako si Manloloko. Wow. Ayun. Seaman po ako and I was a third officer on board ship. So ano ba yung pinaka-main job description ko as a third officer? Yung pinaka-main job description ko is I was a safety officer. So, because of some reasons, hindi ako happy sa pagiging seaman, I stopped, I quit. And then, kasi I'm really a people person. Hindi ako sanay na puro machines lang yung kinakaharap ko. So, and then a friend introduced to me about being a flight attendant. Naging interesado ako because I'm also a traveler. Hilig ko mag-travel talaga. So, I thought, sa isip ko talaga that time na madali lang siguro itong pagiging isang flight attendant kasi serve ka lang, travel ka lang, relax ka lang sa mga hotel. But then, I was really, really wrong. Ito siya. Training comes. So to make the story short, nakapasa na ako with all the processes, tapos magte-training na with the batchmates. Medyo may lang ako, konting angat lang ako with my batchmates kasi nga, I was a safety officer. Sa barko, we have somewhat like the same equipment na ginagamit sa barko. We also have fire extinguishers, we also have those AEDs, basta lahat ng mga safety equipment commonly na magkaparehas lang talaga sa barko at sa eroplano. So, yun lang yung medyo angat ko sa mga batchmates ko because I had this training beforehand na, pati sa mga medical training like the first aid, firefighting, except for the drills kasi sobrang ibang-iba yung drills namin. Okay? So, itong isi-share ko sa inyo, this is not to discourage every one of you, pero if you really want to become a cabin crew, you have to take the challenge. You really have to take the challenge if you really like to become cabin crew. Kasi, sasabihin ko na, hindi talaga siya madali. Kasi hindi madali. Okay? So, paano ba yung training ng pagiging isang cabin crew? So, ito pala, ang pinaka job description ng pagiging isang cabin crew is a safety professional. Ayun siya. Safety professional. Medyo nauutal pa ako, pero yun nga. We are safety professionals. So when it comes to safety, syempre, safety ng pasahero yung mas priority namin. Okay? Sa training namin, meron kaming medical first aid. Sa medical first aid namin, syempre, natatackle doon lahat ng Kung may nangyari sa pasahero, for example, may nakita kaming unconscious, anong gagawin namin? Kung may napaso, anong gagawin namin? Kung may nanganganak, anong gagawin namin? Ayun lahat. Pinag-aaralan namin yan. Kasi, wala namang, for example, wala namang doktor sa eroplano, kami pa rin yung mag-handle ng mga situations ng ganun. We also have fire drills or yung, for example, may sunog. Bumbero din kami. Instant bumbero kami. So ano na, instant doktor, instant nurse, instant, ano bang tawag dyan? Yung caregiver, instant caregiver, and instant firefighter na. Ayun. Siyempre, pag may sunog, kami din yung pinaka-first respondent at kami yung papatay ng apoy sa eroplano. And then we also have survival skills. Ito din. Sobrang vital din ito because it's a matter of life and death. For example, may emergency tapos water landing. Anong gagawin mo? 'Di ba? We have this one ano sir? Narinig niyo ba ako? Okay. Ayun. For example, na may emergency tapos water landing. Siyempre, dapat mabilis yung utak namin on how to deal with that emergency. Kasi, in a matter of seconds, like, ang pinaka dapat namin gawin is dapat ma-evacuate na namin lahat ng pasahero in 90 seconds. Tama ba? 90 seconds naman, di ba? 90 seconds, dapat ganun. Siyempre, hindi mo malalaman kung 90 seconds na yun, pero as much as possible, dapat you will save as much as many passenger as you can. If not everyone, dapat lahat-lahat talaga. Ganun siya kahirap. And then, ano pa ba? Sa training din namin, meron din kami yung paano mag-survive ito, requirement talaga to sa training namin is you really have to know how to swim. Tama? Tama, di ba, sir? You really know how to swim. I have this funny, hindi naman siya funny, ang sama ko naman. Kasi may mga batchmates kasi ako na hindi marunong lumangoy. So, nung ikaw ba, sir? Hindi ka ba marunong lumangoy? Si Sir Amor, ayun. Tapos, nung nag-swimming na, sobrang daming iyakan talaga ang nangyari because hindi sila marunong lumangoy tapos nalulunod sila. Alam mo yung ginawa na lang namin is umiiyak siya habang lumalangoy siya. Kahit yung yung paddle style ng niya, umiiyak talaga siya. And then, may time noon na napagod siya sa paglalangoy. Nalunod siya and I had to save my batchmate. O, diba? Savior na ako. Ayun siya. Ganun siya kahirap and ganun siya hindi talaga basta-basta yung training ng pagiging isang cabin crew. Alright? So, ayun. I-share ko din naman sa inyo kung ano yung mga experiences ko on board. So, there was this one time, may flight ako na papuntang Hong Kong ata. Tapos, 'di ba, meron kaming safety rounds or before take-off, nag-i-inspection kami sa lahat ng mga pasahero namin kung may nakakalat pa ba na mga kung hindi pa ba naka-straighten up your seats nila, kung hindi pa ba naka-seatbelt yung mga pasahero. So, I was doing my rounds and then I saw this one passenger na lady, tapos nakita ko yung bag niya. Malaki yung bag niya ha. Tapos nasa harap niya lang sa floor. Tapos ang tamang procedure kasi niyan dapat is it's either on top of the bin or dapat nasa under the seat para hindi siya humarang. So, I told the lady nicely na, "Ma'am, pwede po bang pakilagay na lang sa ilalim ng upuan nung bag mo?" Tapos bigla niya ako sinasabihan na, "Bakit ba kasi kailangan ng ilagay?" Nagtaray talaga siya sa akin. Sabi ko, "Bakit wala namang hindi." Gumaganon siya. Ako, sa mind ko talaga, because I was telling the lady nicely. Pero yung sinabi ko talaga sa kanya, "Ma'am, kasi po, pag may emergency, nag-crash landing tayo, harang-harang yan, matumba ka, di ka makalabas. Narinig lang lahat. Ako talaga to, sir, when it comes to safety talaga, nag-iiba talaga yung mood ko eh. When it comes to service, ako, all smiles talaga ako sa mga pasahero. Oh, ma'am, sir, ano pong kailangan nyo? Pero pag safety na talaga yung pinag-usapan, pag mga ganun, pag sa mga safety pins, hindi sinasara, pag yung mga bags, hindi talaga nakaayos, in a snap, nagta-transform ako, sabi ko, ma'am, it's for your own safety po. Pag may emergency na nangyari, ma'am, maiiwan kayo dito sa eroplano. Nilakasan ko yung boses ko, narinig ng lahat. Because I was sending a clear message that I'm serious about this. I'm serious about the safety of everyone. Ganun po ako kaseryoso. Kaya, minsan sa mga batchmates ko, kasi I was together with my batchmate that time. Eh, kilala ko sa mga batchmates ko, like, parang super light lang yung attitude, pangiti-ngiti lang. First time nila ako nakita na nagsungit ng pasahero. Pero, I think, hindi naman siya considered as sungit. Hindi naman ako parang talaga sa kanya. Parang, hindi ko naman siya pinagalitan. I was just telling that na ito yung talaga yung dapat yung sundin. Kasi ito din let me also remind you, pag kayo yung cabin crew sa eroplano, ang talaga dyan is susundin talaga kayo dapat ng mga pasahero when it comes to safety. Dapat may authority ka. Kasi kung isipin nyo guys, if paano pa rin ako, hindi kasi ma'am, ganito kasi ma'am, ganito kasi yan ma'am. Hindi ka susundin ng pasahero mo. Hindi ka nila susundin talaga. Proven and tested na talaga yan. Because hindi naman lahat, but I have witnessed some na mga cabin crew, hindi naman lahat na parang, hindi kasi ma'am, hindi kasi ma'am. Ito real talk lang talaga. Tapos, pagdating sa Galley, parang may iiyak sila parang kasi nga nasaktan sila kasi nga parang pinagalitan sila ng pasahero. Well, in fact, ito isasabihin ko na sa inyo. When every one of you becomes a cabin crew, you must have the authority when it comes to safety. Yan talaga yung dapat yung tandaan. Hindi dapat kayo titiklop sa mga pasahero pag alam nyo safety nila yung nakasalalay. Okay? Clear tayo dyan, ha? So, ayun. So, nangyari nga doon, sinunod niya. Kasi, pag niya sa akin, ay, okay, sige. Sinunod niya. Tapos, ayun na. Ayun na nangyari. Basta, you always have to think of the safety. Next na yung service niya. May mga nakita ko kanina na service. Yes, service. Ayan. Pero ang pinaka-priority talaga ng cabin crew is the safety. You are a safety professional. Ayun talaga yung binabayad ng airline sa'yo. So, ayan. So, now that I've discussed the priority, gusto ko lang itong isingit kasi sobrang nice to siya na isingit. Singit ba? O, parang, lang, may i-share ko lang din sa inyo. Di ba, ang first na priority is safety. For me, ang second priority ng pagiging isang cabin crew is that we become ambassadors ng country namin or kung ano mang airline na you work for. For me, I work for Philippine Airlines, so I represent the Philippines. Ako talaga, may mga times na, alam mo yun, Sir Amor, or everyone, mga same ko as cabin crew na when you wake up in the morning, or early in the morning, or may late ka na duty, parang feeling mo, nakakapagod, puyat na puyat ako. But, when the time comes na nag-wear na yung, nasuot mo na yung uniform mo, parang nag-iiba yung ko. When I look at the mirror, parang, wow, formal na formal pala ako tingnan. Parang may extra pogi or pogi points pag naka-uniform ka na. Ganun siya yung feeling when you wear the uniform. And then, pag nandun ka na sa eroplano, syempre, iba-iba yung nationalities niyan. Matatandaan, hindi ikaw yung matatandaan ng pasahero mo when you treat them well. Ang matatandaan nila is yung Philippines or yung Philippine Airlines. buong Philippine Airlines yan. Kaya kahit na may isa man lang diyan na nagsungit or nagtaray na cabin crew, lahat yan, lahat ng Philippine or Pinoys, gano'n na yung magiging pananaw nila sa kanila. So, we become ambassadors of our country. Especially pag alam niyo yung pag nasa mga airport ka ng ibang bansa, ayan, makaka-relate to sila, Sir Amor. Pag nasa ibang bansa tapos may ibang airlines na naglalakad sa airport, pag nakita ko sila, ako din, ganyan din ako. Taas noo talaga ako na, ganda yung uniform din namin. Philippine Airlines din kami. Ganon. And hindi lang ako itong parang ganon yung napapansin. Kasi napapansin ko din siya sa ibang mga kalipad ko. So, parang pag naka-uniform ka tapos nasa ibang bansa ka, dinadala mo yung watawat ng Pilipinas. And it's really something to be proud of. Ayun talaga yung nakaka-proud for me is that sabihin man ng iba na parang taga-serve lang kayo ng kape, taga-serve lang kami ng pagkain. Hindi nila alam yung training na pinagdaanan namin. Hindi nila alam na mas marami kaming alam when it comes to, syempre, sa pagiging isang cabin crew din, ito, personal experience ko, because of being cabin crew, mas naging wide yung pananaw ko sa buhay. Kasi, of course, nakikisalamuha ka ng ibang nationalities. When you go to different countries, you get to experience the culture. Iba-iba yung culture ng different countries. So, you have to adapt. So, pagdating dito sa Pilipinas, parang ang feeling ko kasi pagdating dito sa Pilipinas, sobrang dali kong makahalubilo sa ibang groups. For example, you meet a new friend. Tapos parang new crowd. Mas madali ka makaka-adapt kasi mas alam mo yung gagawin mo. Ayan siya. And then, ano pa ba? We become ambassadors and then ano pa ba? Ayun. Ilang minutes pa ba ako, sir? May 4 minutes pa ako. So I guess ayun lang naman talaga yung ma-share ko sa inyo. So if you have any more questions or mga gustong malaman, you can now ask me or Sir Amor.
Saktong-sakto our third speaker. She will talk about overcoming obstacles to achieve your flight attendant dream. Oh, di ba? Pasok na pasok. Her YouTube handle is Ruth Ramos, and she's also known as Miss Kaykrizz. Without further ado, may I present Miss Ruth Ramos.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Gising pa ba? Okay, so I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited, and I'm going to share with you my experience in overcoming obstacles. So everybody is facing an obstacle that is preventing us to live the life that we want to live. Sino bang walang struggle? 'Di ba? Kahit sino merong struggle na fini-face. Kahit si Alex, 'di ba? Or yung mga sikat na vloggers, meron silang struggle or obstacle na kinakaharap sa buhay nila. Nobody wants to feel stupid. Nobody wants to feel na they messed up. Nobody wants to feel na exposed. So, tayo, if we want to get a dream, we usually look at quotes on Instagram, Pinterest, at walang blink-blink ng mata, nagla-like agad tayo sa mga quotes like, obstacles are those frightful things you see. when you stop looking at your goal by Henry Ford. And you know what? May point siya doon. Pero ang tanong, itong mga quotes na ito na nakikita natin sa Instagram, sa Facebook, is it gonna be enough to convince you to get out there, risk it all, get rejected, para lang for you to learn something? I don't know if gagawin niyo yun dahil lang sa quotes, pero I'm a firm believer that obstacles are important because it forces you to grow. I would like to say that the biggest lessons I've learned, hindi nung natanggap ako sa trabaho, hindi nung nagkaroon ako ng promotion, pero I've learned the most was what that moment na I received my rejection letter from Qatar Airways after going through the 3-day interview na they held here in the Philippines. And hindi lang yan, I waited 8 long months to get the result. But in the end, I was still rejected. So that is one of the most learning experience I've learned sa buhay ko. So in today's talk, I will be talking about overcoming obstacles to get to your flight attendant dreams. Marami ng cabin crew nag-talk about this, pero they've been giving you the pointers on how to do it. So, for me, para maiba naman, to give you a different approach on this topic, I'm going to talk about the things that you should not do. Things na in my own personal experience, na when I stop doing it, I see results. Okay? So when you stop doing these 5 things I'm going to talk about this afternoon, you're going to be able to lessen your self-doubt and take on your journey to become a flight attendant. So ready na ba kayo? Ready na ba? Let's go. The very first thing, you have to stop being mean to yourself. Yung ikaw mismo, iniinsulto mo yung sarili mo. Kasi ako, ginagawa ko to. Like, sasabihin ko, ano ba yan? Ang pangit ng English mo. Or ano ba yan? Oh my God, nag-stutter ako. So, parang ako mismo, iniinsulto ko, dinadown ko yung sarili ko. So, you have to check kasi the way you speak to yourself has a lot of power. Because when you speak to yourself, the stories you tell yourself, like for example, sasabihin ko sarili ko, ang tanga-tanga ko, bakit hindi ko naisip yon? Mga ganon. Those stories that you tell yourself, they become reality. So, kaya nga sabi nila, check your words kasi sometimes they would become your actions. Check your actions, they will become your habits. Check your habits because they will become your character. And when that becomes your character, then it will become your destiny. So it all starts kung ano yung nasa loob ng mga utak natin. Okay? So, paano ba to gawin, Miss Ruth? Paano ba? So, when you talk to yourself, pansinin mo, ganito ba ang sasabihin ng best friend ko sa akin pag pumunta ako sa best friend ko na may problema ako? Ganito ba the way magsalita ang isang best friend to another best friend na nila-love, chine-cherish at nire-respect niya? Ganito ba yung mga thoughts na nasa isip ko? Yun ba yung mga sinasabi sa akin ng ganitong tao? So, if you are in this situation like I was before, ganito lang ang gagawin mo. Or ganito yung ginawa ko para masalba ko yung sarili ko. Okay? So, what you can do is you could first pansinin mo na ganun ka magsalita sa sarili mo. And then, hulihin mo sila. Pag nahuli mo sila yung mga hindi na natin naiisip minsan, automatic na tanga-tanga ko, ganun. Replace them with kinder words. Replace them with more encouraging words. Replace them with words that a best friend will tell you. Lalo na ngayon pandemic, hindi mo makikita yung best friend mo in person or hindi kayo makapag-online palagi. You have to be your own best friend. You have to be your own cheerleader. And then, one day, when you started doing this, eventually, you would make a mistake. Don't go back. Don't go back to being mean to yourself. Kasi lahat ng tao nagkakamali. And when that day comes that you made a mistake, forgive yourself and try again. The next thing that I would like to share with you is you have to stop comparing yourself. We all have our own stories to tell. We all have our own race to run. Our story is unique, and our story cannot be compared to anyone else. Comparison is the thief of joy. So when you keep on comparing yourself, yung joy ng buhay mo, it stops because it is either you would become too bitter kasi others have more, or you will become too arrogant because you think you have more than the others. So when you do this, sayang lang kasi yung oras ng, ako personally, ginagawa ko talaga to. Especially when I'm in line sa isang interview, you can't help it. Ang daming tao na katabi mo, di ba? Ang daming tao na you would see, ang puti-puti niya, ang mistis-mistisa niya, or oh my God, ang tangkad-tangkad niya, parang basketball player. Alam mo yon, it's normal. It's human nature. Pero alam niyo, ang na-realize ko, I wasted my time comparing myself to those people. Imbis na kino-compare ko yung sarili ko sa kanila, I would rather siguro mas magaling pa if yung time na ginawa ko yun para sa sarili ko. Time na nag-aral ako ng anong isasagot ko sa questions, or time na nag-breathing ako para ma-relax ako. Or it could be time na I try to think of happy thoughts so that when I look at the interviewer in the interview, makikita nila yung vibe ko is happy. Instead, I compared myself to everybody and I feel inferior. And pagdating ko sa interview ko, yung vibe ko already inferior. So you have to stop this bad habit. I know it's very hard kasi ako talagang nahirapan ako. Okay. The third thing that I would like to share with you guys is you have to stop obsessing. I mean like obsess about your flaws. Yung iniisip mo na flaw mo, yun. I do this a lot. Sometimes pag andyan na yung interview, ang dami kong pimple. Oh my God. Lahat ng pagising ko sa umaga hanggang sa pagtulog ko sa gabi, puro na lang yung pimple ko yung iisipin ko. Ano bang gagawin ko para mawala? Malapit na yung interview. Andito na siya, yung interview, lumalaki din at lumalaki yung pimple ko. Alam mo, you have to stop obsessing on your flaws. Because sometimes, pag we look at the negative things, puro negative na lang din ang nakikita natin. We switch our brain to be alert kung ano yung negative na meron tayo. So, ang nangyayari, when I do this to myself, when I experience this myself, lahat, imbis na kunwari, iniisip ko in general, ito lang yung flaws ko. For example, may flaw ako sa pimple ko. But then, if I keep on obsessing about it, yung ibang flaws ko, mas naha-highlight na siya. Parang, oh my God, may flaw pa ako dito. Nagkakaroon pa ako ng flaw dito. Nagiging popcorn of flaws na siya. Sinabi kong popcorn kasi pag nagluto tayo ng popcorn, di ba, pumuputok-putok-putok na siya. So, nagiging popcorn na ng puro negativity. And I've become a person na nasa negative state of mind. So, puro na lang pangit about sa sarili ko ang nakikita ko. So instead of doing that, one thing that really helped me is try to, di ba sa computer merong rename? Try to rename your flaws. Pwede naman mas dagdagan mo lang ng positive vibe, imbis na puro negative. One concrete example, if you want to be a flight attendant, syempre may mga moles tayo sa face, di ba? Isa rin yon sa mga flaws ko. Meron akong malaking mole, andito siya, pakita ko. Show and tell. Meron akong malaking mall. Lalo na pag sa Qatar Airways ka, sasabihin nila, look to your right, look to your left, look out, look down. Tapos, pag nakita nilang may nunal ka, what is that? Gaganunin ka nila. What is that? Ganun. What is this? Talagang tinatry nila on purpose, ilalapit nila yung face nila sa face mo. Ganyan. Tapos, what is this? Parang ganon. Tuturo niya yung flaws mo. Tapos, for me, when I was able to overcome this, ganito ang nangyari. I stopped looking at my mall as my flaws. I started looking at it in a different light. So what I said when they asked me, what is this? Sabi ko, oh, that's my beauty mark. So I renamed my flaw. Diba? So, andyan pa rin yung flaw ko. Walang nagbago. Hindi ko siya pinalaser. Wala akong ginastos. Pero I just switched or I just renamed my flaw. And it worked for me. It worked for me on other interviews as well. So I hope that you get this one. This is a very nice trick. Kasi kahit baguhin mo lang ang iyong mindset about sa iyong flaws, hindi mo kailangan gumastos ng malaking pera, mapapasa mo pa rin yung interview. Some people kasi, like for example, I have a lot of friends, ay hindi muna ako mag-a-apply, magbe-brace muna ako, braces sa ngipin. Or hindi muna ako mag-a-apply, papabelo muna ako. O hindi muna ako mag-a-apply, magpapa-laser muna ako ng mata. So, kakaganon mo sa sarili mo, you would not notice. 10 years na ang nakalipas. Kaka-stop mo sa dream mo. Kaka-postpone mo sa pag-pursue ng iyong flight attendant journey. Because of this, wala na, lumipas na yung time. Nag-pandemic na. Hindi ka na nakapag-apply. Hindi ba? So, that is our third thing. The fourth thing that I would like to share with you guys is to stop overthinking. When you overthink, ganito yung itsura niya. Oh my God, pag hindi ako nakapag-apply bilang isang flight attendant, naku, ano ng career ang gagawin ko? Magiging call center agent na lang ako forever. Paano yan? Hindi ko na makikita si Mr. Right. Pag hindi ko nakita si Mr. Right, hindi na kami magkakaroon ng babies. Oh my God, hindi na ako magiging mama. Gusto ko na I will end up being an old maid. And I will have 100 cats. And when I die, my cats will eat my face. Oh my God. Nagpapanik na ako. So that's overthinking, okay? That's an example. When you overthink, you become stuck. You become paralyzed. And it becomes a habit. And you keep on focusing on your problems that are not yet there. Okay, so I think like this when I was still like 23 years old. So it's a waste of time. So if you want to stop the process of it's a cycle. So ang nangyayari, napaparalyze ka. In the end, you don't do it anymore. You don't go for your dream. I know because it took me 8 years to get my dream. So matagal talaga siya. Ang dami kong mga obstacles nung time ko. So yeah. Isa to sa mga yon. What helped me very much is what you have to do is, if ganito yung sitwasyon mo, you have to get still. Just breathe. Para yung mga thoughts sa head mo mag-stop, parang mag-slow down yung traffic. Kasi it's like 1,000 miles per kilowatt hour, tumatakbo-takbo dyan, di ba? So, if you become still, breathe, and just focus, what is the next right move for me? What is the next right thing for me to do? So that you will stop your overthinking, you will stop being overwhelmed by that. Because when you stop being overwhelmed by these thoughts, you know your life is bigger than this moment. You know your life is bigger than these worries. So that is why you have to get still. Relax. Ang kailangan mo lang gawin is do the right next move for you. Okay? The last but not the least, you have to stop over-independence. This is my problem. I don't ask for help. I'm Miss Superwoman. Kaya ko to. Kahit nag-i-struggle na ako, kaya ko to. Don't be afraid to ask for help. When I was applying for such a long time na nagkaroon ako ng applying fatigue. Dati kasi talagang, sige, kaya ko lahat to, kaya ko to. Pero later on, may mga friends ako nagsasabi, you want me to do your makeup? Gusto mo samahan kita sa ukay-ukay? Maghanap tayo ng casual, ganun. So when I started accepting help, nilower ko yung pride ko and accepted na maybe mas maganda yung fashion sense niya. Maybe mas magaling siya mag-makeup sa akin, which is totoo naman. And then, I started talking to my mom. support system, when you started having people around you, you create a village around yourself and your dream. People that support you. In front of the interviewer, it is no longer you alone who is standing there. In front of the interviewer, or in front of that moment when you decide to go for your flight attendant journey, it's no longer just you alone. It's you, your mom who loves and support you, always listens to all your, mga drama sa pag-a-apply. It's gonna be you and that friend who help you find that perfect outfit. It's gonna be you and that friend who help you create that perfect makeup look. And you won't feel so afraid anymore. And you won't feel so alone anymore. And when you stand that in front of the interviewer, you have with you the support of those people who wants to help you. Stop being over independent. Everybody needs someone to help them. And every successful people got help along the way. So, at the end of the day, awareness is key until we realize na ako lang pala yung obstacle sa dream ko. All along, it was just me. It's not my pimple. It's not my braces. At the end of the day, ako lang pala, I'm the only one standing in my own way. So getting out of your way allows you to achieve and do so much more with your life, not just your flight attendant dreams, but it gives you back control in your life. So I hope that this talk helped you, and I hope this talk inspires you to go and start your flight attendant dream. Go for it.
For our fourth speaker, she will talk about working with different nationalities. Her YouTube handle is Rosette DP. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Miss Rosette de la Peña.
Hi everyone. So, good morning dito. At good afternoon dyan sa Philippines. So, Galley Talks. Sobrang ganda ng conference na to kasi lahat talaga mapag-uusapan dito eh. Love life, yan. Problema sa love life, sa pamilya, sa pera, lahat. So now, ang pag-uusapan natin is dealing with different nationalities, working with different nationalities. Parang ang dali niyang di ba? Parang ang dali niyang isipin, pero ang hirap niyang gawin. I will just give you a disclaimer. Kasi medyo parang sensitive yung topic na to. I mean, syempre, I don't want to hurt or anyone sa ibang tao na baka yung religion nila or yung nationality nila ang pag-uusapan ko dito. So I will just talk about what is my experiences while working with different nationalities. So I will just give you a little background about my experience. I lived in Qatar for 4 years. So doon ako parang way back 2012. Ano pa lang ako noon 20 years old. So alam niyo na yung edad ko, di ba? So ngayon, ayun, nagpunta ako sa Qatar kasi I think everyone naman gustong maging flight attendant ng Qatar Airways. So pumunta ako doon kasi nandun yung tita ko. And yun, sabi ko, mag-a-apply ako sa Qatar. Kasi baka doon ako makuha, mas okay. Na direct akong makukuha nila. Pero nung that time, hindi sila nag-hire ng walk-ins. So, IPAMS lang talaga. So, sabi ko, I think hindi pa moment o hindi pa meant for me ang pagiging flight attendant. So, sabi ko sige, earn muna ako ng experience. So, nag-try akong maghanap ng trabaho kahit ano. So, I worked sa sales. So, doon ko na-experience yung different nationalities talaga. May Ethiopians, Lebanese, Egyptians, Tunisians. Siyempre, may mga Filipino naman everywhere, di ba? So, nung una, siyempre wala akong experience, wala akong idea kung paano ba communicate or to deal with them. So, sabi ko, kaya ko to. Go lang. Pero nung time na yon, ang hirap nilang kausapin kasi iba-ibang accent eh. Tapos medyo yung English ko hindi pa masyadong gamay. Hindi pa masyadong okay. Parang hindi pa ako confident sa English ko nun, syempre. So, parang ang nangyari, sinisigawan nila ako wherein hindi naman talaga nila minimin. Talagang ganun lang talaga sila. Pero sa akin, syempre, parang feeling ko ang sensitive ko noon. Kasi yun. Tapos sabi ng mga Filipino na ka-workmate ko, hindi, ganyan lang talaga sila. Ganyan lang talaga sila makapag-communicate, makipagsalita sa inyo. So, sabi ko, okay, kailangan talaga ng matinding adjustment. So, ayun, nung nag-Saudian ako, after 4 years, dun na-earn ko na yung confidence ko to deal with different nationalities. Yun talagang diverse yung nationalities na madi-deal with mo. May Asian, European, Arabs, African, so ganun. How to work with different cultures. Working effectively with different cultures is a necessary skill for anyone in a culturally diverse work environment like aviation industry. So I'll give you some points or ways para may idea kayo if ever gusto nyong maging flight attendant sa isang Middle East airline. So first, self-awareness. If you never work with different nationalities, there will be adjustments. Pero later on, sabi ko nga, matututunan nyo rin yun. So, be aware of your words and actions. Napansin ng ibang nationality sa mga Pilipino, di ba? Parang, kung may gusto tayong i-direct sa isang bagay, ngumunguso tayo. Doon, especially if you're working with your hands. Like, syempre tayo kasi multitasking eh, di ba? Doon. Is there. Parang, sabi nila, ano ginagawa nyo? Ba't kayo ngumuso? Parang sabi nila, sino kinikiss nyo? Eh, syempre, sa airline ko, medyo parang strict yung culture, di ba? Parang sabi nila, parang hindi yata maganda na gawin niyo yun in front of the passengers or in front of different nationalities. So watch your actions. Hindi pwedeng ngumunguso lang kayo kung saan-saan. Tapos, other thing is, dahil nga sa culture, sa airline ko ngayon, hindi ka allowed na hawakan sila. Let's say, ang pasahero natutulog. Siyempre, o kaya lunchtime na, gigisingin mo sila, di ba? Iba, may mga earphones pa yan. So, syempre, hindi mo sila matatapik o, huy, gising, kakain ka na. Hindi mo magagawa yun. Parang, kailangan mo talaga ng, kumari, lalaki yung pasahero. Kailangan mo talaga ng steward, ng lalaking flight attendant, para gisingin siya. So, there's, kasi babae ako, lalaki siya, hindi ko siya pwedeng hawakan. Parang gano'n. So, what I do is just, kung walang lalaking flight attendant, ikikip ko lang muna siya. Diyan ka muna, mamaya kita gisingin. Baka pag narinig mo na yung mga kubyertos ng ibang pasahero, magising ka na, gano'n. So, gano'n. So, hindi mo sila pwedeng hawakan. Yun. There's one passenger also. So, more on experiences ang i-share ko sa inyo, okay? There's one passenger, Indian passenger. So, kakain din. Di ba ang mga Indian pag Okay, I'll just tell you the story. Sabi ko, so lunchtime na. Sabi ko, "Hi ma'am, would you like to eat your lunch?" Tapos ang reply niya sa akin is, "Gano'n lang." Gano'n lang siya. Tapos, shit, 'di ba sa atin 'pag gano'n parang ayaw natin. Ayokong kumain. So, ang ginawa ko, nilampasan ko siya. Kasi akala ko ayaw niya. Ang gano'n pala is, it means, yes, I want, okay. So, sabi ko, siya. Kailangan pala alamin din yung mga gano'n. Kaya 'pag naging flight attendant ka sa isang international airline, kailangan alam mo din yung culture, kung yung mga pasahero mo ba masyadong strict or sensitive, gano'n. So, yun yung pinakaimportante. Second thing is communication or language. Yun, sobrang malaking adjustment kasi hindi naman first language ang English eh, especially sa Middle East, 'di ba? Tayo din, di naman first language ang English. So, be patient. Kasi instead of being impatient, try mong i-treat like a learning experience. Diba? Pwede kang magtanong sa mga coworkers mo. Like, one time, may another story na naman ako. sobrang nainis ako. Parang, sobrang sensitive ko kasi, ewan ko ba. So, may pasahero sa isang domestic flight. Ang nangyari is, gumaganon siya sa akin. Gumaganon siya, pumipitik siya sa akin. Sabi ko, tapos nakataas pa yung paa. Sabi ko, oh my God, ano ba ito? Pasahero na to. Sabi niya sa akin, gumaganon siya. So pinuntahan ko, ayoko kasi ng gano'n. Parang ang rude, di ba, sa atin ng gano'n. Parang, hoy, halika dito. Pumunta ka dito. Parang, hi. So, ang ginawa ko is, pinuntahan ko siya. Sabi ko, hi sir, would you like anything? Would you like any help? Sabi ko, I have my name right here. You can call me by name if any chance you need anything. So, parang, sabi niya, la, musyakal, asir. So, yung language nila, hindi mo talaga maintindihan kasi kailangan mo talagang kailangan mo talagang matuto din ng mga basic language nila. Like, especially ang asir, juice sa Arabic. So, gusto daw niya ng asir na mixed fruit, musyakal. So, kailangan alam mo yung mga basic kahit hindi ka fluent. At least alam mo. Sabi niya, la. Ibig sabihin na no. So, la. Just asir, musyakal, mixed fruit. I want mixed fruit. So, nung sabi ko, gusto mo lang pala ng juice, ginagano mo pa ako. Di ba pwede mag-call button? Minsan, kailangan mo rin silang turuan. Sabihin mo, sir, can you just press the call light, please, if you have any questions or concerns? Ganon. So, kailangan mo lang talaga ng patience. Patience talaga. Maraming patience ang kailangan mo para makapag-communicate sa kanila ng maayos. So, also, kunwari, may mga kalipad tayong mga Pilipino, syempre, yun talaga yung mafe-feel at home ka eh. Kasi makakapagsalita ka ng ibang, ng hindi English, di ba? Nakakapagod mag-English minsan eh. Ang isang rule din, ang hindi pwedeng gawin is hindi ka pwedeng magsalita ng different language in front of the passengers. Also, in front of your colleagues. Kasi parang respect na rin, di ba? What if pinag-uusapan niyo siya, di ba? Iba yung may isip nila na parang, pinag-uusapan ako ng dalawang to. Tsaka they will feel out of place, ganun. So, whenever may ibang lahi talaga na, like in the Galley, kailangan talaga as much as possible, we talk in English. Pero minsan kasi, gusto mong magalit ng Tagalog yung yung salita mo eh. Parang, busy talaga, mga ganon. Doon maririnig mo yan sa Galley. Sa Galley lahat ang mga complaints eh. And then, next thing is respect their religion and their culture. Ito yung pinaka-importante din. Make sure you know their culture. So, kung may idea kayo sa Ramadan, yun yung parang holy month ng mga Muslim. Yun yung parang 1 month silang magfa-fast from dawn hanggang sunset. So parang 'di ba the whole day silang hindi kakain. So syempre mga gutom 'yan. Oo, mga gutom sila na parang hindi na nagwo-work yung brain nila eh kasi gutom sila, hindi sila uminom ng tubig, bawal silang kumain ng bubble gum. Actually, kahit mag-toothbrush bawal. So imagine yung amoy, 'di ba, ng pasahero at saka ng mga colleague mo. Well, hindi naman natin sila masisisi, 'di ba? Kasi yun yung kailangan nilang gawin. So, during Ramadan, naalala ko, training yun. Sarado lahat ng restaurant. Syempre nga, nagpa-fasting nga, 'di ba? Sarado lahat ng restaurants, pati yung canteen sa training center. So, nagbabaon lang kami. Grabe yung pagkain namin, hindi rin kami pwedeng kumain sa harap nila ng mga Muslim. So, kailangan patago talaga yung kain. Itong subo, parang ganon. Ang hirap talagang kumain noon. Minsan kumakain kami sa CR. Sabi ko, grabe talaga yung experience. Pero kailangan mo siyang i-respect kasi nandun ka sa country nila eh. Ganon. So, yung isa din sa naging problem ko sa flight is yung seating arrangement. Bawal tumabi ang babae sa lalaki na hindi naman yan family member. So, very, very important yun. So, sa flight, sa Airbus, diba, 3 seats sa isang row. Eh, yung family, 4. So, syempre, maghihiwalay yung isa. Ang mangyayari, kapag babae yung isa, kailangan babae din lahat yung katabi niya. So, ang gagawin, kailangan muna namin pagtitipunin lahat ng mga babae para itabi sa kanya. So, nadidelay yung flights, nadidelay. Ang dami talagang adjustment na kailangan mong gawin sa flight. Kailangan maging ready ka at prepared doon. So, yun. Anyway, may mga ground staff naman na nag-aayos. Pero, 6-year-old boy, ayaw niyang tabihan. Sabi ko, ano ba? Hindi ka mabubuntis dyan. Diba? So, yun din. Kailangan mo din talagang i-respect yung culture nila. Tapos, one time, sinabihan ako na bawal daw eye-to-eye contact ang mga lalaki. So, paano yun? Hello, sir, pero nandito siya. Sabi ko, hello, sir, ganon. Parang, ang weird lang bumati sa mga pasahero na hindi ka nakikipag eye-to-eye contact kasi importante yun eh. Oh, so, pero later on, nagiging okay naman na sa Saudi. I mean, nagiging open na sila ngayon. Isa pa, I share a photo, Amor, sa'yo. Yan. So, we're serving Arabic dates and coffee during the flight. Yan, i-show ni Amor yung photo. Yan. So, yan yung Arabic dates. Yung dates na yan. Tsaka yung Arabic coffee. So, yung white cup na yan, kailangan i-handle mo siya, hawakan mo siya sa right hand mo. Tapos yung parang thermos sa left palagi. And then, after serving that, kailangan follow up mo ang dates. Hindi pwedeng mauuna ang dates sa coffee. So, may mga ganong procedure na kailangan i-follow during the service. Tapos, bakit kailangan sa right hand? Eh, what if, hindi ka kaliwet, ano ba tawag doon? So, what if right-handed ka? 'Di ba? Usually, ang thermos, sinahawakan natin sa kanan. Tapos yung parang cup sa kaliwa. Pero, ang rule nila, you have to hawakan mo yung cup sa right side, tapos yung thermos sa left side. Hindi pwedeng magkabaliktad yun kasi hindi nila tatanggapin. So, ang sabi nila, kapag hinawakan mo siya sa kaliwa, madumi daw yun. Kasi we use the left side hand to clean yung ano natin, ano ba? Paano ba i-explain na maayos yun? To clean, kumari, dumumi ka, yun daw yung pinanghuhugas mo, yung kaliwa, oo. So, hindi daw yun malinis. So, yun yung parang sinasabi niya, kailangan right hand daw yung cup. Ayun. And then, another thing is, kung mapupunta kayo sa Middle East, sobrang, ano sila, mabate na tao. Sobrang, Assalamualaikum. Tapos, kailangan mo silang sagutin ng Malaikum salam, ganon. So, importante din yung, you're trying to deal with them by communicating as well. Like, try to learn their language. Importante yun. Importante. Isa mga importante. What else? Sa culture. So far, yung pa naman yung masishare ko sa inyo. Another thing is, listen to their stories and ask questions kung may mga confusions kayo, di ba? Pwede kang magtanong sa kanila. Uy, pwede ba tong ganito, ganyan? Kasi marami naman kayong colleagues na makakalipan na same culture and same language. Pwede ba tong ganyan? Kasi baka ma-offend siya, ganyan. So ask questions and always listen to their stories. Okay? Be sincere as well. Try to learn their language. Sabi ko nga, kahit yung mga numbers like from 1 to 50, matututunan nyo rin yan. Kasi ako natutunan ko lang din yan sa flight. So, kumari, syempre, yung iba hindi sasalita ng English. So, kailangan mong magsalita talaga ng numbers like yung seating arrangement nila. Talata Ashrun. Okay. Your seat number is Tisa. So, ganon. Kailangan at least makipag-communicate ka sa kanila. Try to learn their language. Yun. So, I think that's all.
Our next speaker will talk about how being a flight attendant changed her life. Her YouTube handle is Erica Agner. And ladies and gentlemen, may I present Miss Erica Agner.
Hello. Mic test. Sir, okay po?
Yep.
Okay yung audio? Okay. Okay, sir, babasahin ko. Meron akong guide para wala akong makalimutan.
Ayan,
Okay.
no? A bit louder, I guess. Oh, kasi parang nagsalubong yung
mahina
kilay
po
ng mga tao eh.
Mahina po. Mahina, sir.
Okay, ayan.
Ayan.
Better.
Okay na po. Ayan po. Okay. Okay, sige po. All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Erica Agner. I'm a political science graduate from De La Salle University. I'm also an ex-law student, and I'm a former flight attendant of Cebu Pacific Air. So I worked as a flight attendant for 2 years, and I voluntarily rendered my resignation in August of 2019. That was months before the COVID-19 pandemic came in the picture. So yeah, if you're curious, I'm not one of those flight attendants who were affected by the mass layoffs last year. However, if I had not resigned earlier, I would have been affected just the same. Anyways, the fact that I'm no longer a flight attendant by choice explains why my topic for today is how being a flight attendant changed my life. Just to let you know in advance, I will be completely honest in everything that I'll be sharing today. Let me start by saying that being a flight attendant was not really my childhood dream. Growing up, I never saw anything special about being a flight attendant. Just like the others, I also thought of flight attendants as glamorized waitresses or in-flight servers, but nothing more to it than just that. I never imagined flight attendants being professionally capable of anything else other than serving passengers. I also never gave importance to the safety demonstrations before takeoff. I just considered it as a standard procedure that has to be gotten over with. So I underestimated the entire, all of that changed when I officially started my cabin crew training. I underestimated the entire training process. So in my entire life, I have never experienced anything as difficult and pressurizing as the flight attendant training. Contrary to my initial assumptions, looking good is not really the highest priority in this industry. Your good looks won't save you from getting kicked out of training if you fail to reach the passing scores of the countless training examinations. As a person who is a habitual latecomer, the entire training and flying period became really tough for me, to be honest. And to be blunt, the airline industry has no space for people with no sense of time. I can't even believe that I was able to make it after all. You know why this industry has no space for people with no sense of time? Well, during the training, I realized that in times of an emergency, every minute or second counts. There is not a single moment to waste. Every second that is wasted can lead to a tragic disaster. Time really is a crucial factor in survival. It is a key player in matters of life or death. After realizing that, my respect for flight attendants and airline employees in general intensified beyond words. Knowing the fact that flight attendants carry such a burden or huge responsibility in times of an emergency made me highly admire the profession and everyone who have made it a lifelong or long-term career. Going back to the training process, I was really shocked by how strict and tedious it was. Throughout the entire training period, which lasted for 2 months, if I remember it correctly, I never had a decent sleep due to anxiety and time constraint. We spent our days inside the training rooms and our nights studying for the examinations the next day. So our time for sleep was very limited and we couldn't afford to just chill or be overconfident even just for a day because we could get eliminated from the training by failing several examinations in a span of a day. Take note, I have a batchmate who repeatedly failed and lost all her lifelines in just one examination. Considering the high passing rate in every examination, losing your chance to finish the training is really possible and could happen in just a matter of hours or minutes. Just imagine the amount of pressure that trainees go through just to earn their wings. Because of that, I started to admire the perseverance and determination of flight attendants before they officially gained their wings. And take note, the struggle doesn't end there. For everyone's information, I'm very proud to say that flight attendants are really well equipped when it comes to safety and first aid matters. If you have doubts, let me share that flight attendants do safety-related briefing or Q&As before each flight. And if someone consecutively fails to answer the questions correctly, he or she can get bumped off from that flight and has to study rigorously to pass an evaluation or revalida done by a cabin crew supervisor. Failure to make a good comeback could mean losing one's hard-earned job. I hope this gives you an idea on how flight attendants put their hearts in their professions. It takes passion to last in this career, and I have to give credit again to those who have made this a lifelong profession. One more thing that changed my life after working as a flight attendant is my patience or tolerance towards unruly behaviors and different personalities. As a flight attendant, you'll encounter different passengers and colleagues with attitudes that are hard to bear. But as time passes by, you learn to adapt and accept the fact that people are different. And the best way to handle the differences is by extending your patience and understanding towards things that are beyond your control. That's one thing that I'm very proud to have acquired from being a flight attendant. I now have a better understanding and longer patience towards many things in this world. So after I resigned, I never looked at flight attendants the same way as before. Now I see dedicated professionals who value their jobs. Another thing that made me admire flight attendants more is the fact that they spend their holidays or special occasions away from their families just to bring passengers home. That's a lot of sacrifice, you know. Personally, my first Christmas and New Year was away from home. That was during my first Christmas and New Year away from home were during my first year as a flight attendant. I also flew during my birthdays, and if I had a choice, I would have wanted to spend it with my loved ones. So each time I see a flight attendant, I see someone who is working hard for his or her family and for his or her dreams. It really is not your typical job. From that experience, I've learned to value each moment or celebration that I spend with my family. Another realization of mine is the fact that the world is big and there's a lot to see and experience in this lifetime. As a flight attendant, I experienced one too many layovers in several international destinations, and it changed the way I look at this world. There's literally a lot to learn from different nations and cultures. That experience will make you see our country's strong points and areas for improvement. It also opened my eyes to the varying religions, political, and socio-economic status of different nations. Along the way, you learn to respect other beliefs and appreciate so many things. Also, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with the main benefit or perk of being a flight attendant, which is having free flights to the airline's commercial destinations. And before I resigned, I made sure to visit every destination there is. That experience was life-changing. I knew that after I resigned, I won't have that lifestyle again. So I really made the most out of it. I explored the Philippines and other Southeast Asian nations with or without a companion. Not only did my wanderlust grow beyond control, but also my wisdom and independence. Before being a flight attendant, I've never experienced living away from my family. I remember myself trying so hard to convince my parents to allow me to stay at a dormitory or an apartment during college, but to no avail. It was only during my flight attendant days that I enjoyed that freedom, and luckily, it turned me into a very goal-oriented and responsible individual. Having so much freedom can be dangerous to some people, but in my case, it was life-changing. It opens you to the countless possibilities and opportunities there is. But it also opens your mind to your goals and priorities in life. Well, this differs from person to person, but I hope you get the idea. Bottom line is that being a flight attendant molded me into the person that I am today. An adventurous, curious, self-reliant, yet a very responsible person. Yes, you can choose to live life like there's no tomorrow while being a responsible person at the same time. Another thing that changed in me after being a flight attendant is the way I look after myself, especially my own safety and health. Growing up, I'm used to being taken good care of by my parents and my family. While flying, I realized that I was on my own, especially because I lived in a dormitory away from my family. When you get sick, you have to take good care of yourself. And the best way to take good care of yourself is by living a healthy lifestyle. Make sure you take your multivitamins, you eat well, get exercise whenever you could, avoid vices and stress as much as possible. You master all of that when you start flying because our health is our best investment in this profession. Flying is a very tedious and demanding job. That's why our good health matters at all times. One of the most important thing that changed in me after being a flight attendant is my perception towards people and things. I learned to be kind to everyone, especially to strangers. In this profession, you obviously need to have a pleasing personality and a smiling face, regardless of how stressful or toxic the situation can get. You know, passengers from across the globe and even your colleagues may go through tough times or may carry burdens that we may never know about. The least we can do for them is to extend our kindness and um, present our genuine smile that could brighten up their day or lighten their mood. You know, whenever I see overseas Filipino workers leaving the country with sad faces, it moves me in ways I cannot explain. I can't imagine how hard it is to leave your loved ones for long periods of time just to be able to provide well for their family's daily needs. I also remember seeing faces I cannot describe from OFWs who are on their way home back to their families. They may have experienced unfortunate things or events abroad and are finally going home. There are many unspoken stories about OFWs, and the least we can do for them as flight attendants is to provide an excellent customer service. Make them feel special during the flight. That's what I will forever bring with me wherever I go in this journey of life. Always be kind to people because we're all suffering daily battles not known to others. Kindness is very cheap, and a lively personality can be contagious. Life is very short, so we should always find ways to be a blessing to others in any way possible. I'm proud to have acquired that in my 2 year stay in Cebu Pacific. Always choose kindness in this world full of negativities. There are so many things we cannot control, but we can always choose our attitude and response towards people or circumstances. If we can find kind people, then be that person. It's that simple. As the saying goes, change the world, but don't let the world change you. To sum it all up, being a flight attendant made me respect the profession, taught me the value of punctuality and a good sense of time. It extended my patience and understanding to people and things. It made me respect and appreciate different nations, religions, and cultures better than ever before. It turned me into a very curious yet responsible traveler. To be more specific about this, after I resigned, I got even more convinced that I want to visit every single country in this world. And you'll see all of that on my YouTube channel after this pandemic. So, yeah, going back, being a flight attendant also taught me that our health should be our biggest investment and that no one else is responsible for our safety and happiness other than ourselves. Most importantly, being a flight attendant taught me to be kind at all times, and that's what matters the most. So, yeah, that's everything I have to say, and I hope I was able to inspire you in one way or another.
Please do not forget, you are important. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are successful. You are blessed. You are loved. You are exceptional. And if there's anything else that you need, my name is Amor. Thank you very much and have a good night.